Welcome to our channel. Here, you'll find the most intriguing and valuable books available to you completely free of charge. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay updated on our latest releases. And remember, every week, we reward our subscribers with valuable gifts. Simply leave a comment on the video for a chance to win unique and useful prizes. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Preface. In each chapter of this book, I reveal the secret to financial success that has helped hundreds of the world's wealthiest people, whose biographies I have meticulously studied to create, expand, and continue to grow their fortunes. This secret is available to anyone who is willing to follow proven principles and take decisive action. It is not something complex or inaccessible, but it does require discipline and consistent application. Those who have mastered this secret understand that wealth begins with clear thinking and the right attitude. More than 50 years ago, when I was still quite young, it was none other than Andrew Carnegie who drew my attention to this secret. His wisdom and experience became a source of inspiration and motivation for me. He was the one who inspired me to delve deeply into the secrets of success. This wise Scotsman, with a truly sharp mind, hinted at the existence of this secret and then observed with interest whether I would grasp the full significance of his words. He wanted to ensure that I had the insight to fully understand his message. Many believe that achieving financial independence requires only connections and luck, but Carnegie thought differently. He saw that true success is achieved through hard work, planning, and belief in one's abilities. When he saw that I had understood the essence, he asked me, "Are you willing to reveal this secret to the world, to those men and women who might spend their entire lives without ever knowing it? But to do this, you will need to dedicate more than 20 years. I affirmed and, with Mr. Carnegie's support, kept my promise. This book is entirely dedicated to this very secret, which has been repeatedly tested in practice across various areas of life. Mr. Carnegie believed that the secret, which brought him immense wealth, should be accessible to those who don't have the time for extensive research on how money is made. He believed that anyone, regardless of their background, could change their destiny if they were ready to follow this secret. He hoped that I could confirm the effectiveness of this secret and demonstrate how it works, based on the experiences of people from different professions. These principles are universal and applicable in any field. Therefore, I conducted extensive research, studying the success stories of a wide range of individuals from businessmen and politicians to scientists and educators. Carnegie also believed that this secret should be taught in schools and colleges. He argued that if it were studied properly, the education system would undergo revolutionary changes, and the time required for learning would be cut by at least half. In this context, it's crucial to recognize that education should focus on developing practical skills and thinking, not just theoretical knowledge. The effectiveness of this secret is supported by real-life examples. In the chapter Faith, you will learn about the remarkable story of the creation of the large corporation United States Steel, which was conceived and founded by a young man. Through this example, Mr. Carnegie proved to me that his method works for everyone who is willing to apply it. Charles Schwab's use of this secret helped him amass an enormous fortune, opening up new prospects for further growth. By rough estimates, this secret helped him earn $600 million. Thousands of men and women have already discovered this secret and applied it to achieve their goals, just as Carnegie intended. Some earned millions and became wealthy. Others successfully used it to create harmony and peace within their families. One clergyman applied the secret so effectively that his annual income reached $75,000. Arthur Nash, a tailor from Cincinnati, tested this method on his nearly bankrupt business, which not only revived, but also brought significant profits. His business thrives today, even though Nash is no longer alive. The success of this method was so evident that even the mere praise of it brought journalists millions of dollars in profits. This method and its results stand as proof that successful application of the principles of the secret can radically change lives. The secret was also revealed to Stuart Austin Weir, a resident of Dallas, Texas. He was so prepared to implement it that he left his previous profession and began studying law. Did he achieve success? You will also find out about this in the book. During my time working as an advertising agent at LaSalle University, which at that time was a university only in name, I witnessed how its president, by using this secret, transformed LaSalle into one of the largest educational institutions in the country. This demonstrates that the principles of the secret have the power to transform even the most complex and neglected systems. The facts known to most who were acquainted with Andrew Carnegie provide a clear understanding of what you can gain from this book, but you must first know what you truly want. Understanding that your desire and determination are key factors in achieving success is crucial. The secret that I tirelessly highlight is mentioned no fewer than 100 times throughout this book. It is repeatedly emphasized so that you can grasp its essence. However, the book does not provide a clear definition of this secret. Understanding the secret requires active engagement and personal involvement from your side. I believe that it will be more effective if I give you the chance to uncover it through your own reflection and exploration. By approaching the secret with an open mind and persistence, you will uncover its true meaning. That's why Mr. Carnegie shared this secret with me in a general sense, without going into specifics. The journey to understanding the secret is a personal process that demands dedication and analysis. Those who are ready to listen will grasp it. The understanding of the secret comes to those who are truly committed to uncovering it. You will recognize the secret in every chapter of the book if you are genuinely ready to apply it. It is essential that you are prepared to implement the secret in your life. I will not give you clues on how to determine if you are ready to discover it, as this would rob you of the advantages you gain from making this discovery on your own. It is important to undertake this journey yourself to achieve maximum results. The core of the secret is that those who discover it are inevitably bound for success. Once you grasp the secret, success will become an integral part of your life. If you have doubts, look at those who have already used this secret, read their stories, and see for yourself. The success stories of those who applied the secret will inspire you. Nothing in life comes without effort. Success demands perseverance and the willingness to work on yourself. The secret in question cannot be possessed without paying a certain price, although this price is insignificant compared to its true value. The payment for the secret is your time, energy, and determination. To those who do not seek to understand this secret, it remains out of reach, as it cannot be given as a gift or bought with money. The secret requires personal readiness and conscious aspiration. The reason is simple. The secret consists of two parts, one of which a person ready to understand it already possesses. It is important that you have openness and a desire to learn. This secret serves everyone who is prepared to use it, regardless of their level of education. Regardless of your education, success is available to those who apply the secret. Long before I was born, Thomas Edison uncovered this secret and became a renowned inventor with only 3 months of formal education. This secret was crucial to his outstanding achievements. Then his assistant, Edwin Barnes, mastered the secret so effectively that he accumulated a significant fortune and retired while still young. Barnes applied the secret and achieved remarkable results. You will find the details of this story at the beginning of the first chapter. This story illustrates how the secret can change lives. It should convince you that wealth is accessible to everyone, that you can become whoever you want, and that money, fame, recognition, and happiness are available to those who are ready and determined to obtain them. You can achieve everything you desire if you apply the secret. How did I come to know all this? The answer lies in the book. My story of research and analysis will be valuable to you. It might happen when you read the first chapter, or perhaps you will find yourself realizing, there it is, the secret, as you flip through the last chapter. The secret will become clear when you dive into the text and comprehend its essence. As a result of a 20-year study I conducted on Carnegie's advice, I examined the experiences of hundreds of well-known individuals, many of whom accumulated great fortunes by using the Carnegie secret. Many successful people applied the secret and transformed their lives. Among them are Henry Ford, Theodore Roosevelt, John Rockefeller, Thomas Edison, and others. These names symbolize success and achievement through the secret. Many famous Americans have used and applied Carnegie's secret. Their stories confirm the effectiveness of the secret. In my practice, I have not encountered anyone who, using the Carnegie secret, did not achieve notable results in their field. If someone applied the secret, they succeeded. I also do not recall a single instance where someone achieved success or became wealthy without knowing this secret. The secret is fundamental to achieving success. Based on these observations, I have concluded that the secret, as part of the knowledge required for self-improvement, is more significant than knowledge gained through formal education. Knowledge for self-improvement is more crucial than traditional education. By the way, what is education? You will also find a detailed answer to this question in the book. Education has different meanings for everyone, and this is explained in the book. This is the pivotal moment in your life. Understanding the secret will be the key to your achievements. Don't be surprised if the secret I am persistently highlighting suddenly becomes clear and apparent to you. This will happen when you are ready for it. You'll recognize it the moment it appears before you. Whether this happens on the first pages or the last, as soon as it does, take a moment to celebrate with a glass of champagne, for this will mark a pivotal moment in your life. It's crucial to realize that this moment will not only open new horizons, but also allow you to view your life from a fresh perspective. Remember that this book, based on real events, aims to deliver a universal truth through which anyone who is prepared can not only understand what to do, but also how to do it. It will also provide the necessary impetus to get started. Before you dive into the first chapter, let me offer you a hint that could become the key to unlocking Carnegie's secrets. All achievements, all wealth began with a simple thought. If you're ready to grasp the secret, you already hold part of it and will recognize the second part once it becomes accessible to your mind. As soon as you open your mind to new ideas, you'll start noticing how opportunities become available and obstacles dissolve. Napoleon Hill. Introduction. Miracles. Think and Grow Rich. Clement Stone. A miracle is an exceptionally striking, outstanding event, object, or achievement. Today is one of the most significant days of your life. Why did you pick up Dr. Napoleon Hill's book Think and Grow Rich? For me, one day in 1937 became a turning point. I opened the first page of Dr. Hill's book Think and Grow Rich. I hope this book becomes a real miracle and guide in the lives of millions. A miracle begins with a simple realization of one's potential and a belief in its fulfillment. What is a miracle? A miracle is the achievement by an individual or a group of people of what seems impossible. First comes the thought, then the inspiration, followed by actions leading to the realization of goals. Of course, exceptions must be made for cases where goals and methods violate universal laws. Let me tell you about a man who was born without legs, but understood and applied the principles of success outlined in Think and Grow Rich. Today, he confidently moves toward his goal. The Center for Human Resources Research awarded Mr. Henry Viscardi the Napoleon Hill Gold Medal for outstanding achievements in organizing this center and assisting the disabled. When Henry Viscardi was given the floor, he, though limping, but with his head held high, approached the podium and said, "I am deeply grateful for this medal named after such a great man as Napoleon Hill. For many reasons, I am proud of this award. I was born without legs. I spent 7 years of my life in a hospital on charity. I didn't have prosthetics until I was 27. All those years, I desperately struggled to survive, feeling like a horribly crippled child, and then as a young man with a deformity. When I asked my mother why I was like this, she explained that at the time, when another disabled child was about to be born, God and his advisors held a meeting to decide in which family this unfortunate child would be born. And God said, I think the Viscardi family will treat this crippled baby well. Since then, I've understood that each of us has a mission, and it is crucial to find the strength and faith within ourselves to fulfill it. The same can be said about our country. America is a country I love. It's where my ideals formed, giving me the freedom to determine my own fate, a fate of equality among equals, not that of a cripple. In which other country would I have the chance to be independent, marry the woman I love, be the master of my life, and pursue my own business? Many years have passed since a doctor changed my destiny by giving me the chance to stand on prosthetics for the first time, which I still wear today. I couldn't afford them, and the doctor said to me, "I've helped you, now you help another helpless disabled person, and that will be your payment." I promised him, and now I promise you, as long as there is even one person with a disability who is willing to challenge life and refuse to settle for just surviving on disability benefits, I will offer all the support I can to such individuals. It's crucial to understand that true hope is not just idle dreaming, it's about taking proactive steps toward achieving your goals. Hope is not the same as dreams. Hope is the ability to turn dreams into reality. Those who are fortunate have dreams and put every effort into making them come true. These individuals recognize that each step toward a goal requires perseverance and determination. As for me, I am not striving to live like everyone else. It is my right to be different. I seek opportunities for success rather than safe havens. I am willing to take risks, dream, build, make mistakes, and achieve my goals without exchanging my life for disability benefits. This resolve strengthens my belief in my own power and potential. I will not surrender my freedom and sense of self-worth. It is my inherited right to stand tall, be proud, think independently, and enjoy the fruits of my labor. I have the right to boldly face the world and say, "I did this." I have an important message for you. This is directed at individuals with disabilities. It would be easy to settle for just wishing you success and happiness in the future. But that's not enough. I wish for each year of your life to be filled with meaning. This applies to me, to you, and to millions of people with disabilities. Be Americans. Pursue your dreams and make life better. That is what truly constitutes a miracle. A miracle is a remarkable and grand occurrence. Years ago, I experienced this miracle overnight. The next morning, I was determined to follow this book with unwavering focus. This book became a source of inspiration and resolve for me. My goal has always been and remains to make the world a better place for current and future generations. People on every continent strive toward this goal. My daughter, Donna Stonepedge, also read Think and Grow Rich. She studied the principles in the book and decided to pursue a bold dream. This inspired her to take actions that have transformed many lives. There is a belief that child abuse is a rare phenomenon that only occurs among the impoverished. But a small group of professionals, some parents, and Donna thought otherwise. And they were right. Donna believed that even one child who is humiliated and abused is too many, and that the abuse of childhood vulnerability must end. Working on this issue, she arrived at a concrete solution. A national committee to prevent child abuse is needed. Donna invested hundreds of hours of her time and millions of dollars into the establishment of the committee centers in Chicago, with branches across the country. She secured support from the National Advertising Council and used newspapers, magazines, television, radio, and billboard advertisements to educate Americans about the problem of child abuse. This proactive stance and persistence paid off and made her work genuinely impactful. A miracle is the highest goal in life. Clarity of purpose and a passionate desire to achieve a great goal are the first principles you'll find in Think and Grow Rich. According to Dr. Hill, this is the foundation of all achievements. Creative thinking is a miracle. The computer operates similarly to how our brain and nervous system work. Our internal computer, when we are alone, can guide our thoughts, control our emotions, and determine our destiny. To develop this remarkable ability, one must pay a high price, time. Therefore, dedicate 30 minutes each day to creative reflection, focusing on your goals. This time devoted to contemplation will help you not only form a clear vision of your goals, but also uncover new opportunities to achieve them. During this crucial process, focus on what you want and discard anything that does not align with your desires. Make it a habit to constantly remember your main goal, in the morning, before going to bed, and many times throughout the day. This will help you quickly identify and seize opportunities that support your goal achievement. Your inner computer is programmed through constant repetition, and more repetition. It's a profound observation about the development of your own life. If you don't closely monitor each change, you might miss the results you're aiming for. Therefore, it's crucial to assess daily how close you are to your main goal, to what you truly want to achieve. The importance of this analysis lies in the fact that it allows you to adjust your course and avoid mistakes. The magic of Think and Grow Rich is that there are many reasons why you might have picked up this book, whether it's to find a business idea, solve personal problems, discover your life's purpose, or take control of your destiny. Within its pages, you'll uncover how to unleash the unlimited potential of your mind and fully realize your abilities. This book will not only teach you, but also inspire you to create miracles in your own life. Napoleon Hill's philosophy has stood the test of time, and millions of people have proven its effectiveness in practice. This is the real magic of Think and Grow Rich. Today is one of the most significant days of your life, because it could mark the beginning of your journey to success. There are no ideas that are impossible to bring to life. Trust your mind and ensure that every thought leads you towards achieving your goal. What miracles can you create in your life after reading Think and Grow Rich? The possibilities are limitless and depend only on your resolve. Remember, you can achieve anything that does not contradict universal, divine, and human laws. Thoughts are material, and their power can guide you to success. How can you make life say yes to your plans and ambitions? It's been scientifically proven that thoughts have real power, and when combined with clear goals, persistence, and passionate desire, they become powerful drivers of change. Edwin Barnes discovered a principle that can be summarized as, a person becomes richer when they think. This realization did not come to him immediately. Barnes began with a burning desire to become a partner of the greatest inventor, Edison. He knew precisely what he wanted to work with Edison, not just for him. Reflect on how he overcame all obstacles to achieve his goal, and you'll better understand the principles underlying the path to wealth. When Barnes decided to become Edison's partner, he faced significant barriers. He didn't know Edison and lacked the funds for a trip to East Orange, New Jersey. For most, these challenges would have been enough to abandon their attempts, but Barnes had an extraordinary determination. Edison looked him in the eye. In Edison's lab, Barnes introduced himself and stated he had come to work with the inventor. Later, Edison described his first impression of Barnes as follows. He appeared as a vagabond, but there was something in his expression that made an impression. It seemed he was seriously intent on getting what he came for. I am no stranger to life and understand that if someone passionately desires a goal and is willing to risk everything, they will inevitably succeed. I gave him a chance because I saw his unwavering determination not to deviate from his goal. Subsequent events proved I was not mistaken. Edison gave the young man a chance to prove himself. Barnes's appearance did not play a decisive role, or rather, it worked against him. The determining factor was his resolve. Barnes did not become Edison's partner immediately after their first conversation. He got the opportunity to work at Edison's company for modest pay. Time passed. Months went by. Barnes worked hard, but didn't get closer to his goal. Nonetheless, his desire to become Edison's partner only grew stronger. Psychologists accurately note that when we are truly ready for something, it starts to happen. Barnes was fully prepared to take on the responsibilities of a partner. Moreover, he was resolutely committed to staying in a state of complete readiness until he achieved his goal. This readiness was not just about determination, but a strategic understanding that every action brought him closer to success. He didn't doubt or seek excuses, nor did he consider trying something else. His mental attitude was solely focused on achieving the goal, leaving no room for doubt or hesitation. No, he firmly convinced himself, "I came here to work with Edison, and I will see this through to the end, even if it means dedicating my entire life to it." That was his approach to his goal. Imagine how society would change if people set specific goals and devoted themselves fully to achieving them. It wouldn't just raise individual success levels, it would fundamentally transform the standards of goal achievement across the board. Perhaps young Barnes didn't even realize that his determination and persistence, reminiscent of a bulldog's tenacity, enabled him to overcome all obstacles and secure the opportunity he was seeking. The principles of determination and persistence can turn perceived barriers into stepping stones to success. The opportunity didn't come through the front door, but arrived through the back entrance. It appeared unexpectedly and not in the form Barnes had anticipated. Sometimes, the most valuable opportunities present themselves as hidden problems that need to be solved. Opportunities often have a habit of coming disguised as failures or temporary setbacks, making them difficult to recognize. At that time, Edison had perfected a new office device known as the Edison dictaphone. Sales agents considered this device to be a dead end and showed little interest. They didn't believe in its commercial potential. Yet Barnes, with his unique ability to see potential where others saw only problems, knew he could sell this device. He offered his services and seized the opportunity with 100% commitment. Barnes successfully sold the dictaphone, and he did it so professionally that Edison awarded him a nationwide contract to sell the device. Thanks to his successful sales efforts, Barnes became wealthy, making the principles of think and grow rich abundantly clear. It's hard to pinpoint the exact amount Barnes earned from selling the dictaphone, perhaps $2 or $3 million. But money is just part of the story. What was more significant was the realization that thoughts can be transformed into material rewards through the proper application of principles. This experience confirmed for Barnes the power of believing in oneself and the principles he applied. Barnes firmly believed he would become Edison's partner and achieve wealth. At the outset, he had nothing but a clear understanding of his goals and a relentless desire to achieve them. One of the most common routes to failure is the tendency to give up at the first sign of difficulty and temporary setbacks. This can happen to anyone. To achieve success, one must be able to overcome challenges and not settle for the status quo. Uncle Darby, like many other Americans chasing the gold rush, went to Colorado hoping to find gold and get rich. He couldn't even imagine that gold could be extracted using intellect rather than just physical labor. This realization often comes only after a person faces significant initial difficulties. He staked a claim and worked tirelessly, swinging his pickaxe and shovel. After long weeks of grueling work, gold finally glittered beneath the earth. To extract the ore, machinery was needed. Without making a fuss, Darby paused his work and returned home to Williamsburg, Maryland. There, he explained to his relatives and a few neighbors why he had stopped. They pooled their resources and purchased the necessary equipment. Uncle Darby and his nephew then returned to the mine and continued their work. They extracted the first barrel of ore and sent it off for processing. The results revealed that they had stumbled upon one of the richest gold deposits in Colorado. Just a few more barrels, and their costs would be covered, and then Darby and his uncle would be wealthy. Each new success lifted their spirits and reinforced their belief in their plan. Drills went deeper and deeper, and Darby and his uncle's hopes soared higher and higher. They were confident this was their big break. And then, suddenly, the gold vein vanished. The prospectors kept drilling, trying to trace the gold, but all their efforts proved futile. Their frustration and exhaustion mounted day by day. Eventually, they decided to abandon the venture. The unfortunate gold seekers sold the equipment to a scrap dealer for a few $100s and returned home. The scrap dealer, seeing potential in the remaining equipment, consulted experts and asked an engineer to conduct some calculations. The engineer concluded that the previous owners had failed due to ignorance. They were unaware of what are known as false veins. According to his calculations, The real vein was just a few feet away from where Darby had stopped drilling. The expert noted that all indicators pointed to potential right in that area. It was precisely there that it was found. The new owner of the claim earned millions from gold mining. He didn't panic, but sought professional advice and triumphed. From failure to success is often just one step. Years of work allowed Darby to recoup his losses, as he discovered that passionate desire can indeed turn into gold. This realization came to him after he entered the insurance business, where he remembered the vast fortune that had slipped away simply because he stopped drilling 3 feet from the gold vein. This experience taught him the importance of perseverance and strategic thinking. Darby constantly reminded himself, "Back then I gave up, but I will never make that mistake again. If someone says no to an insurance proposal, I will stand my ground." Darby became one of the few who earns millions a year insuring people's lives. His persistence was due to the lesson learned from his experience in gold mining. Before a person achieves real success, they invariably encounter temporary obstacles and setbacks. When faced with unexpected failure, the easiest and most logical thing is to give up, which is exactly what most people do. Over 500 of our country's most successful citizens have confirmed that they achieved the greatest success of their lives, literally one step away from failure. Failure is a cunning trickster with a rather unique sense of humor. It delights in pushing a person away from success by just one step. A child taught an adult a lesson. Shortly after Mr. Darby finished college, he encountered an interesting case that demonstrated that no doesn't always mean no. One day, Darby was helping his uncle grind wheat at the mill. His uncle owned a large farm where African-American tenants lived. The door to the room where Darby was grinding wheat was closed. After a while, the door creaked open, and the little girl, the daughter of one of the tenants, peered in. She entered and stood by the door. Seeing the child, Darby's uncle gruffly asked, "What do you want?" The girl modestly replied, "My mother is asking for 50 cents. I'm not giving it," the uncle said bluntly. "Get out of here." "Yes, sir," the girl replied, but did not move. Darby's uncle was focused on his work and initially didn't notice that the girl had not left. Looking up and seeing her at the door, he shouted, "I told you to leave. Get out now, or I'll give you a spanking." The girl again said, "Yes, sir," but remained rooted to the spot. Uncle placed the sack of grain on the floor, grabbed a stick, and headed towards the little girl with a look on his face that promised nothing but trouble. Darby held his breath, aware of his uncle's volatile nature and fearful of witnessing potential violence. With each step, the uncle grew closer, and the tension in the room became unbearable. Every gesture and expression from the uncle conveyed an imminent threat. When the powerful adult man reached the tiny girl, she stepped forward and shouted, "My mom needs 50 cents. The uncle froze, staring silently at the girl for a few seconds, then set the stick on the ground, reached into his pocket, pulled out a 50-cent coin, and handed it to her. He was struck by the girl's resolve and how she stood her ground despite his anger. The girl took the coin and slowly backed toward the door, keeping her eyes fixed on the adult man she had just defeated. This moment was crucial. It demonstrated how persistence can alter the outcome of a situation. After the girl left, the uncle sat on a box and remained in that position for about 10 minutes, staring out the window. His indecision and astonishment were evident. He was trying to comprehend how such a small girl had managed to influence him so effectively. Young Darby had much to ponder. For the first time in his life, he saw a defenseless child teach an adult a significant lesson. What made the uncle suppress his anger and yield? What mysterious force enabled the girl to take control of the situation? How did she manage to get what she wanted despite the resistance? These questions haunted Darby, but he couldn't find the answers then. The realization came later. Interestingly, I heard this story in the very place where the incident took place, the old mill. Yes, there's more behind a no than meets the eye. Darby recalled this story when we were inspecting the old mill and shared it with me. After finishing his account, he asked, "What do you think about that? What hidden power did the girl possess to so effectively teach my irate uncle a lesson?" The complete answer to this question is found within this book. It contains all the details and instructions that will help anyone understand the force that once assisted the little girl and apply it in practice. By the first chapter, you'll start to grasp what's at play. By the middle of the book, you'll come up with an idea that will speed up your mastery of a similar unstoppable force. You'll gain this power and be able to use it for your purposes. The awareness of this power might come to you while reading the first chapter, or perhaps it will strike you during your reflections on the final chapter. You might develop a clear action plan to achieve a specific goal. You might recall your past failures and setbacks, extracting crucial lessons from them. This lesson will help you reclaim lost opportunities or achieve your dreams. After I explained to Mr. Darby where the power originated from that the astonishing girl had used, it seemed to me that he instantly analyzed his 30 years of experience as an insurance agent and acknowledged that his success in the field was significantly due to the lesson learned from that child. Mr. Darby noted, "Every time a potential client is about to reject my offer, I recall that girl at the mill, her defiant gaze at the adults, and I tell myself, you will close this deal." The most profitable deals I've closed were those where people initially said no. In further discussions, Darby couldn't help but remember the story of the gold vein, when he and his uncle ceased drilling just 3 feet from the gold deposits. However, Darby observed that this negative experience ultimately turned into a blessing. This incident taught him a crucial lesson. Never give up and never abandon your goal. Despite any obstacles, it's essential to keep moving forward. This lesson was crucial for me to achieve future success. At first glance, Mr. Darby's failures might seem trivial and commonplace, yet it was these very failures that shaped his path, making them as significant as life itself. He leveraged the most dramatic moments of his life because he analyzed them and drew valuable lessons. In these moments, he also learned patience and perseverance, which became his vital allies. He realized that each failure was merely a temporary hurdle on the path to a great goal. But what about those who lack the time or desire to deeply analyze their mistakes to find the path to success? How can one learn to turn failure into a stepping stone for success? Many people fear mistakes, considering them a sign of weakness, but in reality, it's through them that understanding and growth come. These questions form the foundation for writing our book. You need to follow a simple and proven idea to achieve success. The answers to these questions are outlined ahead, but don't be surprised if you find them in your own thoughts triggered by reading this book. Achieving success requires just one sound idea. The principles outlined in this book provide methods and strategies for developing effective ideas. They help not only in building successful business models, but also in enhancing personal potential. Before diving into a detailed examination of these principles, it's important to introduce you to key information. When your financial situation begins to improve, it happens so rapidly that you wonder where those opportunities were hiding all along. Such transformation may seem miraculous, but it's the result of a deliberate approach and action. This assertion might seem sensational, especially if you were raised with common myths. Wealth comes to those who work hard and persistently. However, once you start thinking differently and working smarter, you'll see that wealth comes from a mindset, a clear goal, and a small but focused effort. Changing your mindset can change your life. You and everyone else need information on how to develop a mindset that attracts wealth. I spent 25 years researching to uncover the secret of how people become wealthy. I discovered that successful people see opportunities where others see only obstacles. As soon as you master the principles of this philosophy and start applying them, your financial situation will start to improve. Moreover, everything you engage with will begin to bring you income and benefit. Does this seem impossible? Not at all. One of human weaknesses is the belief that something is impossible. We often tell ourselves that it won't work and that it's not worth trying. But why can't it work? Why can't it be different? It's crucial to remember that your success depends on your belief in your own abilities and your willingness to act. This book is for those who are not afraid to look beyond the impossible. who seek the rules and strategies that have brought success to many people. It's for those who are willing to stake everything to learn these rules and follow them. Success finds those who actively seek it. Conversely, failures lie in wait for those who fear confronting them, allowing thoughts of defeat to take over their minds. Our book aims to help those who genuinely want to achieve success to align their minds with it. Another weakness of many people is the habit of evaluating everything based solely on their own impressions and judgments. This often leads to limiting opportunities and missing chances. Some readers might think they are incapable of thinking and becoming wealthy because their thoughts were formed in conditions of poverty and constant failure. Reflecting on such fears, I can't help but recount the case of a well-known Chinese individual who came to America for education. He enrolled at the University of Chicago. One day, University President Harper asked him what traits of Americans had impressed him the most. "Oh," exclaimed the student, "of course, your eyes. They are so wide. We tend to dismiss what we don't understand and blindly believe that our system of evaluation and measurement is the only correct and perfect one. I set goals and achieve them." When Henry Ford decided to create a new car, he understood that his project needed to stand out dramatically from the competition and be technologically superior. It wasn't just about wanting to create something new, it was about revolutionizing the entire industry. Why not design an engine with an all-in-one 8-cylinder block? This decision was extremely ambitious and required a significant innovative approach. He tasked his engineers with developing such an engine. Soon, they presented the project, but experts concluded that it was impossible to fit all 8 cylinders into a single block. The engineers, with their technical expertise, tried to explain that such a solution defied all existing standards. To this, Ford replied, "Just do it anyway." He understood that breakthroughs only come when boundaries seem insurmountable. The engineers argued that it was impossible. "Keep working until you succeed," Ford commanded. "It doesn't matter how long it takes." He knew that the greatest achievements require time and persistence. The engineers began their work as they had no other choice. If they refused to follow Ford's orders, they would be fired. -1 month passed with no results. Another 6 months without any progress. The specialists tried every possible approach, explored all options, but success remained elusive. They faced numerous difficulties and obstacles, yet Ford was confident they could overcome them. What Ford wanted seemed impossible. At the end of the year, Ford reviewed the engineers' work and learned that they had failed to fulfill his order. "Keep working," Ford said firmly. "I want this, and I will achieve it." This moment became a turning point for the team and accelerated their progress. They continued, and suddenly, as if by magic, the solution was found. Thus, the legendary engine was created, bringing Ford global recognition and immense profits. This engine became a symbol of success and technological breakthrough. Ford demonstrated persistence that ultimately brought him success. Of course, I've presented this story briefly and without detail. However, its essence remains unchanged. This story itself reveals the secret of Henry Ford's success, and you can find it by studying it, and you won't have to search for long. Henry Ford achieved success because he understood and applied key principles. One of these principles is an incredible drive for success and a clear understanding of your goals. Remember this story as you read the following chapters of the book and pay attention to the moments that unveil the secret of his success. If you can identify the principles that brought Henry Ford success, you will be able to achieve similar results in any field you aspire to. As the poet Henley said, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." Henley wanted to remind us that we are the masters of our fate and control our thoughts. He suggested that our minds have the power to concentrate thoughts and attract people and situations that align with our thoughts. Understanding this concept allows us to create conditions where success becomes inevitable. Perhaps he hinted that a powerful desire for wealth could help us tune our minds to money thinking and create a plan for achieving it. It's important not only to strive for a goal, but also to actively act according to the plan. However, As a poet, Henley left a philosophical interpretation of this truth to his readers. Over time, the truth has been revealed, and it is now clear that the principles outlined by Henley hold the secret to mastering your financial destiny. We are ready to explore the first of these principles. Keep an open mind, and remember that the principles we discuss do not belong to a single individual. They have been developed by many people, and you can use them to your advantage. It's not difficult. Several decades ago, when I spoke before the graduating class at Salem College, I passionately shared a principle described in the next chapter, and one of the graduates adopted it as part of his life philosophy. That individual went on to become a congressman and a significant figure in Franklin Roosevelt's administration. I received a letter from him which clearly expressed his view on the principle in the next chapter, and I decided to include it as an introduction. Let this letter inspire you to achieve and succeed. My dear Napoleon, as I worked in Congress, I came to understand the reasons behind the struggles faced by many men and women. I write these words to help thousands of deserving individuals transform their lives for the better. In 1922, when you spoke at the Salem College commencement ceremony, I was one of the graduates. Your speech planted seeds of ideas in my mind, seeds that began to grow. These ideas became the foundation for my subsequent actions and decisions. Your words became a guiding light that illuminated my path. They led me to the opportunity I have today serving my country and had a profound impact on me. This idea also shapes my future prospects and goals. Understanding that every obstacle for a chance for growth was crucial in my journey. I still recall, as if it were yesterday, your inspiring story of how Henry Ford, with no solid education, financial backing, or influential connections, rose to incredible heights in business. This example proved to me that believing in oneself and working tirelessly is what truly matters. It was at that moment, even before you finished your speech, that I resolved to claim a worthy place in life, no matter what obstacles I might face. This determination became the catalyst for my ongoing efforts. Understanding that perseverance and persistence can change your destiny became my driving force. Thousands of young people find themselves at a crossroads each year after receiving their diplomas. Each of them needs the kind of support I received from you when I heard your speech of that memorable day, 1922. These young individuals seek to find that one right path that will change their destiny. They want to understand what they should do and how to define their lives. You can assist them because you have already supported many people in solving similar problems. Your experience and wisdom can serve as a beacon to guide them. Today, thousands of Americans are searching for ways to turn ideas into money, starting from scratch without financial support, hoping to recoup their investments. You are the person who can help them with your knowledge and experience. Your ability to share your expertise with others is both inspiring and motivating. If you publish a book, I would like to receive a copy with your autograph. With best wishes, sincerely yours, Jennings Randolph. 35 years after that inspiring speech, in 1957, I once again had the pleasure of visiting Salem College and giving another speech. This time, I received an honorary Doctor of Literature degree from the college's academic council, a significant recognition of my efforts. I have encountered Jennings Randolph's name numerous times and followed his outstanding career closely, noting his successes as the executive director of one of the leading national airlines, and then as a U.S. Senator from West Virginia, renowned for his inspiring speeches in Congress. This was a vivid confirmation of how determination can lead to outstanding achievements. These accomplishments inspire and confirm that hard work and resolve can indeed change lives. What should be remembered? Even if a person is poorly dressed and has no money in their pocket, an unstoppable drive for success can open up opportunities that come only once in a lifetime, as happened with Edwin Barnes. This underscores that inner mindset and determination can overcome any external circumstances. The further you progress in the right direction, the closer success comes to you. Many give up just 2 steps from success, which ends up being claimed by others. This serves as a reminder that persistence and determination are the keys to achieving any goal. The goal is what determines any success, whether big or small. A strong person can be defeated by a weak child if that child has a goal. By focusing your thoughts on the significance of your tasks, you can achieve what seems impossible. Like Henry Ford, you can inspire and motivate others with your faith and perseverance, achieving what might otherwise seem unattainable. Everything you conceive and believe in can be accomplished with enough effort and faith in yourself. Your success will be a testament to the power of persistence and determination. Chapter 1. The Path to Wealth. Step 1. The Power of Desire. Dreams start to come true when a strong desire turns into specific actions. Demand the best from life, and it will deliver. More than 50 years ago, when Edwin Barnes stepped off the freight train in East Orange, New Jersey, he looked like a pauper, but his thoughts were grand. As he approached Thomas Edison's office, his mind was relentlessly working on his plan. Barnes envisioned how he would meet Edison, how he would ask the inventor for a chance to fulfill his ultimate dream, to become a partner of such a great inventor. His ambition was not merely hope. It was not a trivial, fleeting wish. It was a profound passion that overshadowed all other thoughts and ideas. He was ready to go to any length, regardless of the obstacles. This drive was clear and specific. He knew that without a clear goal, all efforts would be in vain. A crucial element in achieving a goal is the ability to see it as an inevitable reality rather than a distant dream. Barnes understood that to succeed, he needed to constantly remind himself of his goal and continuously move towards it. His confidence in eventual success was so strong that no obstacle could shake it. Years later, in the same office, Edwin Barnes stood before the great inventor again, but this time his passion had taken form. They began working together. Barnes achieved his lifelong dream, and it became a reality. He succeeded because he chose a clear goal and focused all his energy and efforts on achieving it. There was no turning back. It took 5 years for Barnes to get the opportunity he had so eagerly sought. To others, he was just another cog in Edison's business machine. But Edwin considered himself a partner of the great inventor and constantly thought about it. This case vividly demonstrates the power of specific desire. Barnes achieved his goal because his desire to become Edison's partner was stronger than anything else. He developed a clear plan for achieving his dream. He burned all his bridges. He remained true to his ambition until it transformed from an obsession into a reality. When heading to East Orange, Barnes did not tell himself, "I'll try to persuade Edison to give me a job." He immediately set a clear goal. "I will meet Edison and let him know I want to become his business partner." Edwin did not even consider a backup plan in case of failure. He told himself that there was only one goal he truly wanted to achieve. That goal was to become Thomas Edison's partner. He burned all his bridges and built his future plans on the necessity of achieving that goal. There were no options for retreat. It was a matter of winning or losing. This is the story of success. He burned his ships. Centuries ago, a great warrior made a decisive decision to ensure victory in a crucial battle. He needed to defeat an enemy whose army outnumbered his own. The great warrior arrived in enemy territory on several ships. Once the troops disembarked and unloaded all their equipment and weapons, the warrior ordered the ships to be burned. Before the first battle, he said to his soldiers, "You have seen our ships turn to ashes. This means we have no way back. We can either win or perish." And they won. Anyone who wants to achieve success in any endeavor must make the decision to burn the bridges and eliminate all options for retreat. Only then can one achieve the mental state known as the burning desire to succeed, which is crucial for achieving success. The realization that retreat is not an option mobilizes inner resources and strengthens determination. This drive becomes the fuel for actions that lead to success. The morning after the Chicago fires, a group of entrepreneurs stood on State Street, surveying the destruction left by the fire at their stores, department stores, and offices. Their misfortunes became the catalyst for new ambitious plans and the determination to move forward despite the challenges. Then they held a meeting to decide whether to stay in Chicago and rebuild from the ruins, or to leave and start a new business in another city. Every merchant, except for one, chose to leave the fire-ravaged city. The one merchant who decided to stay and rebuild the destroyed buildings declared, pointing to the rubble of a store, "Ladies and gentlemen, I will build the largest department store in the world on this very spot, and it doesn't matter how many times it burns to the ground." This happened more than 100 years ago. Not only did he envision a grand department store in the future, but he was also confident in his ability to achieve this goal despite all obstacles. The department store was built. It stands on that same street to this day. This department store has become a symbol of how a tremendous desire can turn destruction into prosperity. It is a clear demonstration of the power of an indomitable desire. For Marshall Field, the easiest choice in his situation would have been to make the same decision as his colleagues. Faced with unexpected challenges, the merchants saw the future in a dark light. They preferred to retreat and move to a place where they thought life would be easier. However, Field understood that retreating was abandoning his ambitions. It's important to highlight the difference between Field and his colleagues. They are as different from each other as successful people are from those who fail. Everyone who reaches an understanding of the purpose of money wants to have it, but a mere wish will not lead to wealth. Only a passionate, indomitable desire that becomes an obsession, guiding all plans and actions with a persistence that leaves no room for defeat, can bring wealth. Field's perseverance and determination became his greatest assets. There are 6 steps that turn an idea into money. There is a method through which a strong desire can be converted into its financial equivalent. This method involves 6 practical steps. First, set a specific amount of money that you want to obtain. It is not enough to simply say, "I want a lot of money." The amount must be precisely defined. There is a psychological reason for this precision, which we will explore later. Second, determine what you are willing to give in return for the desired money. It is unrealistic to receive something without offering something in exchange. Think about what resources or efforts you can offer. Third, set a definite date by which you intend to have the money. Fourth, create a clear plan of action to achieve your desire and start implementing it immediately. Don't wait until you are ready to take action right away. Fifth, write down on a piece of paper a brief statement about the amount of money you wish to have. Also, include the time frame within which you want to acquire the money. Don't forget to describe what you are putting at stake, what you are giving in return, and detail the plan for achieving your desire. Sixth, read aloud what you have written twice a day, once in the evening before bed, and once in the morning upon waking. While reading, visualize and try to feel that you already possess the desired money. Visualization and repetition enhance your determination and help you focus on your goal. It is crucial to strictly follow all of the above instructions, especially the 6th step. It may be challenging to picture yourself with the money until you actually have it. In that case, a burning desire will help. If it becomes an obsession, you will easily convince yourself that you will possess a large sum of money. The key is a genuine desire for money and an unwavering belief that you will achieve it, which will allow you to have faith in your future success. The price of principles minus $100 million. For those unfamiliar with how the human mind operates, the steps outlined above might seem impractical and even absurd. These principles might appear complex and challenging to apply, but their foundation is simple and clear. It's worth noting that these principles were passed down from Andrew Carnegie, who started his career as a humble worker in a steel mill. Despite his modest beginnings, Carnegie applied these principles in a way that earned him wealth exceeding $100 million. He demonstrated that true success doesn't come from circumstances, but from the power of inner desire and determination. Another testament to the effectiveness of these steps is the success of Thomas Edison. Edison's life experiences validate these principles, showing their value not only in the pursuit of money, but in achieving any goal. Every achievement, from groundbreaking inventions to financial success, begins with a clear intention and resolute determination. Following these steps does not require hardship or sacrifice. They don't lead to awkward situations. To implement these recommendations, you don't need a higher education. What is essential is a rich imagination that allows you to clearly see the possibility of building wealth and understand that it can't be left to chance. Creativity and resolve are key factors in achieving any goal. It's important to recognize that many of those who today possess vast fortunes started with nothing more than a vivid imagination, hope, a dream, and a well-defined action plan. You now likely understand that significant wealth cannot be achieved without a passionate desire and a firm belief in its realization. Great dreams transform into real wealth. In our ever-evolving world, new ideas, innovative production methods, fresh marketing strategies, and novel perspectives in literature, television, and film are essential. These changes present endless opportunities for those who are ready to leverage them for their benefit. This need for innovation opens vast prospects for those who can set clear goals and achieve them. Passionate aspirations for wealth should remind us that true leaders throughout history have been those who discovered and harnessed hidden potentials, turning them into monumental achievements like skyscrapers, cities, factories, airplanes, and automobiles, which make our lives better and more comfortable. Innovative ideas and perseverance help create new achievements, which, in turn, lay the groundwork for future successes. When planning to achieve your financial goals, do not let anyone dismiss the possibility of realizing your dream. To overcome doubters, you must embody the spirit of great pioneers who amazed the world with their inventions. This spirit inspires countless people around the globe, and you, as my readers, have a fantastic opportunity to harness its advantages for your own interests. Don't delay, start taking action. If you are confident in your idea and believe in its validity, share your dream with everyone and ignore any skepticism. If during periods of temporary setbacks, people say your venture is futile, disregard their timid advice. Every obstacle you encounter is an opportunity for growth and learning. They don't understand that each failure carries within it the seed of potential success. Thomas Edison dreamed of creating the electric light bulb. As soon as this thought occurred to him, he immediately began to act. He remained true to his idea, despite 10,000 unsuccessful attempts. Dreamers and doers don't give up. Whelan dreamed of a chain of cigar stores, and his dream became a reality when United Cigar Stores branches across America. The Wright brothers dreamed of a flying machine, and their dream became a reality based on common sense. These examples show that the power of desire and determination can overcome any obstacle. Marconi envisioned a groundbreaking system for transmitting information without the need for physical or visible means. Fast forward to today, and every time we turn on the TV or listen to the radio, we're directly experiencing the realization of Marconi's vision. This once far-fetched idea is now a cornerstone of our daily lives, demonstrating how one innovative idea can reshape the entire world. Here's a telling anecdote. When Marconi's friend first heard about his revolutionary wireless transmission, he took Marconi to a mental institution and requested a professional evaluation. This reaction underscores the skepticism that often greets groundbreaking ideas. Today's dreamers have the advantage of envisioning their goals within more favorable conditions. The modern world is teeming with opportunities that past visionaries could scarcely have imagined. Innovators of today build upon the pioneering work of those who came before them, harnessing advanced technology and new resources. Dreams evolve into intense desires to be achieved. A fervent desire is the launching pad from which all great achievements spring. Such dreams are never born from apathy, laziness, or a lack of ambition. The most successful people are those who not only harbor grand dreams, but also have the resilience to tackle and surmount challenges. It's crucial to remember that every successful person you admire today has navigated numerous hurdles and overcome significant obstacles before reaching their objectives. Their stories are marked by relentless perseverance and an unwavering commitment to their goals. Often, The pivotal moment in the lives of successful individuals occurs during a crisis, a time when they are left to fend for themselves. For instance, John Bunyan penned The Pilgrim's Progress, a seminal work in English literature, while imprisoned for his religious convictions. This period of imprisonment became the forge in which his masterpiece was crafted. Similarly, the latent genius within O. Henry emerged during a particularly tough phase of his life when he was incarcerated in a Columbus, Ohio, jail. This adversity acted as a catalyst, unlocking his creative potential and leading to his notable literary achievements. Adversity compelled O. Henry to delve deep into his imagination and renew his creative spirit. As a result, he evolved from a criminal to a distinguished author of remarkable literary works. Charles Dickens began his professional journey sticking labels on cans of shoe polish. The profound sorrow from his first love deeply affected him, propelling Dickens to become one of the world's most celebrated writers. This personal anguish ignited his creativity and provided him with profound insights into human nature. He first brought the Pickwick Papers into the world, followed by other novels that enriched and diversified our literary landscape. Helen Keller, who lost her hearing, sight, and speech shortly after birth, nonetheless managed to inscribe her name into the annals of history. Her extraordinary life stands as a testament to the fact that one cannot be defeated until they themselves concede to defeat. Robert Burns, who started life as an illiterate, impoverished village youth, faced the prospect of a dismal future. Yet, he defied this grim fate and, through sheer mental fortitude, created a rich world of poetry, metaphorically growing a rose from a thistle. His perseverance and creative vision transformed his life and left an enduring legacy in literature. Beethoven, despite his deafness, and Milton, despite his blindness, have left a mark that will be remembered for centuries because they turn their dreams into reality. Their incredible achievements show that true success comes from overcoming personal limitations and challenges. It's crucial to distinguish between merely desiring something and being truly prepared to receive it. One can only achieve their goals if they genuinely believe in their ability to attain them. This belief and conviction must become a mindset. A closed mind cannot inspire belief, courage, or conviction. Achieving greatness requires no more effort than resigning oneself to mediocrity and suffering. As a great poet once expressed, I bargained with her for a penny and got a penny, but ask a million and fence it. She lived this life, but she gives her own. We are hers alone, but we are in her service. You've committed, served, and should not complain or envy the wealthy, but instead learn to dream. Whether a millionaire or a servant, it makes no difference to her. She rewards those who fully commit and demand her rewards. With a powerful desire, the impossible becomes possible. To wrap up this chapter, I want to share the story of the most remarkable person I've ever encountered. This individual was born without any visible signs of ears, despite the initial medical prognosis that the child might be deaf and mute for life. This person's determination and resolve defied the expectations. The doctor's conclusion was that the child might be unable to hear or speak. I challenged the doctor's verdict. I had every right to do so. I was the child's father. I made my decision in silence, keeping it close to my heart. I was certain that my child would hear and speak, no matter what. This unwavering belief in overcoming obstacles underscores the power of determination and faith in achieving one's goals. I remember the words of the great Emerson, "The causes of things teach us to believe." Each of us has an inner teacher, and if we listen closely, we'll hear the right answer to our questions. And what is that right answer? It's a burning desire. My most intense desire was that my son would not become a deaf-mute invalid. I wasn't going to back down from this goal, not even an inch. But how could I achieve this? I had to find a way to communicate my determination to my son, to teach him to hear. I decided that when the time was right, I would instill in him a passionate desire to hear, and nature itself would help make that a reality. These thoughts swirled around in my head, but I told no one. Every day, I thought about my dream. I realized that my son could only develop the ability to hear if he wanted it for himself. So, I decided that all my energy and effort had to go towards nurturing and strengthening his internal flame of desire. I was obsessed with the idea that I wouldn't let my son become a deaf mute. I often reminded myself that if I believed deeply enough in his ability to hear, that belief would eventually be passed on to him. Time went by, and we noticed that he was responding, even if faintly, to certain sounds. This gave me new hope, and I started using every opportunity to encourage him to try to hear. When he reached the age where children typically start to speak, he didn't attempt to form words, but we could tell he had some hearing ability. Then, I began to play music for him and let him feel the vibrations, hoping to stimulate his auditory senses. That was enough for me. I believed that if a child could pick up even a few sounds, that ability could be developed further. And soon, fate gave me a chance. We constantly tried to surround him with sounds, games, and conversations to keep his interest and build his skills. And as is often the case, help came from an unexpected direction. We found a way out. We bought a phonograph. When my son first heard the music, he was ecstatic, and he practically took ownership of the device. He could spend hours listening to the same record, standing by the phonograph, pressing his teeth against the edge of the table. I realized this habit was his way of feeling vibrations and sounds through his bones, and I knew I had to help him develop this skill. At first, we didn't understand this behavior until we learned about the phenomenon of bone conduction. After some time, I noticed that he could clearly hear my words when I touched my lips to his head at the base of his skull. Once I realized he was picking up on my words, I started instilling in him the desire to hear and speak. I learned to speak more clearly, with a special tone, to help him better perceive the sounds. Soon, I discovered that my son loved the stories I told him before bedtime. I began crafting tales that helped him build confidence, imagination, and a burning desire to hear and speak. I created characters and scenes where heroes overcame difficulties, hoping to inspire him to achieve his own victories. I would repeat the same story over and over, each time adding new vivid details. I aimed to convince him that his physical limitation wasn't an obstacle, but rather a gift. I told him that people who face difficulties often achieve more because they learn to overcome barriers from the very start. By that time, I had deeply studied the philosophy that every failure holds the seed of success, and I diligently instilled this idea in my son, even though I couldn't have imagined how his limitation would turn into his advantage. Gradually, he began to accept his uniqueness as a part of his personality and used it for self-improvement. Nothing could stop him. Looking back now, I realize how crucial his faith in me was in achieving such remarkable results. His belief in my words and actions strengthened his willpower and helped him keep moving forward, despite the challenges. He trusted everything I told him without question. I taught him that he had a special advantage over his older brother, and that it would show itself time and again. I taught him to see opportunities where others only saw obstacles, and to believe in his own strength. For example, in school, I told him that teachers, noticing his physical difference, would give him more attention and care. And that's exactly what happened. I convinced him that when he was old enough to sell newspapers, his older brother was already doing so. His physical limitation would actually be his advantage. People would pay him more because they would see that, despite his challenges, he was doing his job quickly and efficiently. I knew that this confidence would become the foundation for his future success, and indeed, it did. My method of programming the mind started showing results when my son turned 7. For several months, he kept asking us to let him sell newspapers. His mother and I tried to convince him that he needed to grow up a bit and gain some experience first, but his desire was too strong. His mother was firmly against it. She felt he was too young for such endeavors and feared for his safety. But my son didn't give up. He demonstrated incredible persistence, reminding us every day of his desire. One day, while he was at home under the watchful eye of our maid, he saw his chance. When no one was looking, He climbed out through the kitchen window and disappeared. This act showed not only his determination, but also his ability to make independent decisions, which, while risky, could lead to success. He borrowed 6 cents from the shoemaker next door, bought a few newspapers, sold them, bought more, and kept going until late in the evening, eventually earning 42 cents in pure profit. He instinctively understood the basics of entrepreneurship, taking risks onto his own shoulders and turning every sold newspaper into a step toward achieving his goal. When we came home, my son was already fast asleep in his bed, clutching his first earnings tightly in his hand. His mother gently pried open his little hand, took the coins, and burst into tears. Her heart was filled with pride for his determination, yet there was also a fear for his safety. Amazingly, she cried with joy, realizing her son's first victory. My reaction was the opposite. I laughed with joy, knowing that my efforts to instill confidence in him had worked. I knew that deep down, he had already started to taste true freedom and self-belief. His mother saw a little deaf boy who had run away from home and, risking his life, made some money. But I saw a bold, driven entrepreneur who took the initiative and succeeded. For me, that moment was proof that anyone, regardless of limitations, can achieve great things if they have the fire of desire burning within them. I was immensely proud of the deal my son had pulled off. That deal proved he had tremendous potential for life. I understood that he wouldn't stop there, and this was only the beginning of his great journey to success. It was a true breakthrough. A deaf boy finished school and then college without being able to hear his teachers, except when they shouted. Every day in the classroom was a challenge for him, but he learned to see opportunities where others saw only problems. He didn't attend a specialized school for the deaf, and we didn't allow him to learn sign language. Instead, he used every resource and method available to achieve his goals. Despite the obvious limitations, we firmly believed he would live a full life and have healthy children. We stood our ground, despite difficult negotiations with school officials. My wife and I insisted that he be surrounded by regular kids, growing up in an environment where no one would see him as special. In high school, he tried using a hearing aid, but it was ineffective. The final week of college was a turning point in his life. For research purposes, he was sent a new hearing device. He no longer expected miracles, but a spark of hope remained. At first, he hesitated to try it, recalling previous failures, but eventually, he decided to put it on and a miracle happened. His deepest desire became a reality. For the first time in his life, he heard as everyone else does. Now, he could perceive the world as it truly was, without barriers or limitations. Overwhelmed with emotion, he called his mother and clearly heard her voice. It was an incredible moment, the first time he communicated without barriers. The next day in class, he effortlessly heard every word the professor said. For the first time, he could have normal conversations with people without the needing to shout. The world changed for him beyond recognition. His intense desire had finally started to pay off, but it was not yet a complete victory. Now he needed to find a way to turn his physical limitation into an advantage. Full of enthusiasm for new opportunities, my son wrote a letter to the company that produced the hearing aids, sharing his story. He felt he could be of service to others, helping them overcome the same challenges. The letter caught the company's interest, and they invited him to New York. There, he was introduced to the workings of the company, and he had an idea, a moment of inspiration. You can call it whatever you like. He realized that he now had a unique opportunity, only to improve his own life, but also to help others. It was that very spark of thought that transformed his physical limitation into an advantage capable of bringing not only financial, but also emotional rewards. The essence of his idea was that he realized he could help millions of people suffering from deafness, those who had lost hope and saw no prospects. And that realization became his new mission. He realized he could inspire others by sharing his story of how his world changed in an instant. For a month, he immersed himself in intensive research, analyzing the marketing strategy of a company that produces hearing aids. He developed methods and approaches that could help the firm connect with people who have hearing issues, giving them hope and a chance to discover a new world of sound, just as he had. He decided that to succeed, he needed to understand more deeply the needs and fears of those who, like him, had faced similar challenges. He knew that only through a true understanding of his audience could he convey his message and empower them. His goal was not just to sell hearing aids, but to create a new reality where people could feel whole and confident. Every day, he dedicated time to studying reviews, inquiries, and letters from those already using hearing aids, seeking to find the points of connection that would help him make his plan most effective. He also began studying the success stories of other companies to understand how they earn their customers' trust. Knowing that every person has their own story and fears, he created individualized approaches for different audience segments. This allowed him to develop strategies that didn't just sell a product, but built long-term relationships with clients. When he finished his research, he drafted a 2-year action plan based on his findings. He considered every detail, including ways to improve customer service and offer personalized solutions to each client. After the company reviewed his plan, they offered him a job to bring it to life. It was as if fate had given him a mission to bring hope and relief to thousands of people who would have remained in silence without his help. And all of this was made possible by his unwavering desire to make the world a better place. I am convinced that our son would have remained deaf for his entire life if his mother and I had not been able to shape his mindset, beliefs, desires, and aspirations correctly. We instilled in him a strong desire to hear and live a full life, and that desire became the bridge that brought our son into the world of sound. At first, it was hard to imagine that a mindset alone could change destiny, but his determination proved us otherwise. Ultimately, that determination turned into a physical reality. Blair desperately wanted to hear, and now he hears. He was born with a physical limitation that could have broken anyone without such a strong desire. The light I planted in his mind made him believe that his limitation could become his advantage, and it worked. By turning his weakness into a source of strength, he exceeded all expectations. Indeed, with faith and strong desire, you can achieve the most incredible goals and dreams, and this is available to everyone. The great power of desire can work miracles. In this chapter, you'll learn the success story of Madame Schumann-Heink, who rose to the heights of opera. When she was just starting out, she approached the director of the Vienna Opera to have her vocal abilities evaluated, but he refused even to listen to her, saying, "How do you expect to succeed in opera with an appearance like that? Buy a sewing machine and start sewing. You'll never become a singer." The director was an expert in music, but he did not understand the power of desire when it becomes an obsession. If he had known about this powerful force, he would have given her a chance. She didn't give up and kept moving towards her goal, despite the doubts of others. A few years ago, one of my business partners became seriously ill. His condition deteriorated rapidly, and he was eventually taken to the hospital for surgery. The doctor told me he had almost no chance of survival. That was the doctor's opinion, but not the patient's. Before he was taken into the operating room, he whispered to me, "Don't worry, boss. I'll be out of here in a few days." The nurse looked at me with pity, but he survived everything and lived. Later, the doctor said that only his enormous desire to live had saved him. He would never have survived if he hadn't ruled out the possibility of death. I believe in the power of desire backed by faith, because I have seen this power manifest time and time again. I have seen it bring power and wealth to those who possess it. I have seen how this power gave my son the ability to be normal and happy, even though nature was cruel to him and deprived him of his ears. All of this proves that the power of desire can overcome any obstacles, no matter what they are. So, how do you harness and use this power of desire? The answer to this question can be found in this and the following chapters of this book. Nature has not yet revealed to us the secret of that unknown, yet likely potent, principle of mental chemistry that transforms a burning desire into something that does not recognize the word impossible and rejects failure. What do you need to remember? When your desire is so strong that it directs all your energy toward achieving your goal, you do not need any fallback plans. Victory is inevitable. The 6 clear and precise principles outlined in this book turn desire into gold. For Andrew Carnegie, these principles became the foundation of his $100 million fortune. A strong desire can extract the seeds of future success from temporary failures. Such a desire revived one of the world's largest department stores from the ashes. A boy without ears learned to hear. A girl with no chance of success became a great opera singer. A patient, to whom doctors gave no hope, conquered death. The great power of desire helped all these people surpass themselves. Our mind has no limits, except for those we set for ourselves. Dear friends, I sincerely hope you found true enjoyment in listening to this book. If you found it valuable and inspiring, please share it with your friends and loved ones. Make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so you stay updated on all our latest releases and don't miss out on any exciting new books. Remember, each week we delight our subscribers with valuable gifts. Leave your comments under the video for a chance to win unique and useful prizes. We genuinely wish you all the best and hope that our books will be beneficial to you and help make your life better.